Hello and welcome to Cruise Aura. If you're 65 or older and planning a cruise, I've got some wonderful news for you. There are special perks designed just for seniors that can make your cruise more comfortable, more enjoyable, and even save you money. But here's the surprising part. Most cruise lines won't tell you about these benefits up front. Why? Because every free service, every waived fee, every little accommodation cuts into their profits. They'd much rather you pay full price and never know these perks even exist. That's where I come in. In today's video, I'm going to show you 7 hidden cruise perks for seniors, what they are, how to ask for them, and the exact phrases that work best. Once you know these secrets, you'll be able to cruise with less stress and a lot more confidence. So let's set sail and get started. Number 1. Priority boarding and assistance. One of the trickiest parts of cruising is embarkation day. Imagine hundreds or even thousands of people all trying to get on the ship at the same time. The lines are long, luggage is heavy, and there's a lot of standing and waiting around. For many seniors, that can be uncomfortable or even unsafe. What many don't realize is that priority boarding isn't just for people in wheelchairs or those with major disabilities. If you're 65 or older and have any mobility concerns, like tired legs, balance issues, or even just the desire to avoid chaotic crowds, you qualify for free priority assistance. This can include boarding the ship earlier before the large general crowd, access to elevators during the busiest times, getting on and off tender boats before others, help with luggage directly to your cabin, priority disembarkation at the end of your trip. And here's the best part. This isn't something they can refuse. It falls under maritime accessibility rules, which means if you request assistance, the cruise line must provide it. The way to ask is simple. When booking, say, "I'd like to request mobility assistance." If you can walk but just need some extra support, you can even specify ambulatory assistance, which tells them you don't need a wheelchair, but could use help with distances and stability. Here's a practical example. Let's say you're cruising the Caribbean and feel perfectly fine walking off the ship in calm ports like Cozumel. But then you see a rocky port like Santorini, where passengers use small tender boats and the terrain is steep. You don't have to request assistance for every stop, just the ones where you know you'll need it. That flexibility makes it much easier to enjoy your vacation without pushing yourself too hard. Number 2. Free room service. Room service feels like such a luxury on a cruise. Breakfast in bed, snacks while you watch the ocean from your balcony, or a late-night sandwich. It's one of those little joys of cruising, but many cruise lines now charge a delivery fee, usually around $7 to $10 per order. For most passengers, those charges add up quickly. Here's the hidden truth. If you're 65 or older and have any medical or dietary needs, you can often get room service free of charge. This includes situations like needing food at specific times to take medication, managing diabetes, where blood sugar levels require regular meals, difficulty walking long distances to dining rooms or buffets, feeling unsteady standing in long lines. Even something as simple as needing a soft diet because of dental issues can qualify. Cruise lines would rather quietly provide room service for seniors than risk a health problem that could become an emergency. How do you ask? The phrase is, "I have dietary needs related to my medication schedule and would like to know about room service accommodations." It's polite, direct, and almost always gets a positive response. Here's a quick story. One couple in their early 70s shared that they never even thought about asking. On their second cruise, the husband mentioned his early medication schedule at guest services. To their surprise, the cruise line waived all room service fees for the entire trip. They said it completely changed their cruise. No more rushing to the dining room when he needed food. Number 3. Preferred dining times. Dining is one of the highlights of cruising, but for seniors, it can also bring challenges. Long waits, noisy dining rooms, and late seating times don't always work well, especially when medication schedules or digestion issues are involved. The good news is that senior dining accommodations do exist, but you have to know to ask for them. Here are a few examples. Royal Caribbean. Seniors 65 plus can request guaranteed early dining, often around 5 p.m. You can also ask for tables in quieter spots, away from busy walkways. Carnival offers priority reservations at specialty restaurants and will often guarantee a preferred seating time in the main dining room if it's connected to a medical schedule. Princess Cruises has a senior sailing program that includes preferred dining times, but it's hidden. You must request it when booking. The way you phrase your request makes all the difference. Instead of asking, "Do you have early dining?" try, "I'd like to request senior dining accommodations for passengers 65 and older." That wording triggers their system to check the right list of options. Why don't cruise lines talk about this? Because it takes extra effort to manage. They'd rather seat everyone where it's most efficient. But if you speak up politely, they will almost always make it happen. Think about how much more enjoyable your cruise would be if you could eat at the time you prefer at a quieter table without waiting. That's the difference this perk can make. Number 4. Shore Excursion Assistance. One of the best parts of cruising is exploring exciting new destinations, but shore excursions can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially if there's a lot of walking, crowded buses, or long days in the sun. Here's what many don't know. Seniors with mobility concerns can request special accommodations on excursions. Most cruise lines won't advertise this because there are only a limited number of spots, but if you ask, they'll usually help. These accommodations can include boarding the excursion buses before everyone else so you can choose a comfortable seat, reserved front row seating, making it easier to see and hear the guide, extra time at rest stops so you don't feel rushed, alternative transport options if the tour involves a lot of walking, even an escort to help you navigate through a busy or confusing port. Here's how you ask, "I'd like to request shore excursion accommodations for senior mobility." That simple phrase lets them know you're not asking for special treatment. You just need a little extra help. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're on a Mediterranean cruise, and you've booked a shore excursion in Rome. The standard tour may involve hours of walking through ruins and cobblestone streets, but by requesting senior accommodations, you might be placed in a group with shorter walking distances or even provided with a van instead of a bus. The difference between struggling and enjoying can be huge. And remember, you don't need to exaggerate your needs. Just being upfront about wanting extra time or easier access is enough. Number 5. Free or discounted cabin upgrades. Now, this perk is one of the most surprising. Did you know seniors sometimes qualify for cabin upgrades without paying extra? Here's how it works. If your assigned cabin isn't comfortable because of age-related needs, guest services often has the discretion to move you to something more suitable. They don't promote this because, again, upgrades are valuable, but when the need is genuine, they're far more likely to accommodate a polite request from a senior passenger. What might they offer? A cabin closer to the elevators, so you don't have to walk as far. A room near the medical center or dining areas. A cabin with a bathroom that has grab bars or easier access. In some cases, even a balcony cabin if that helps with comfort or mobility. Here's the key. Don't demand. Simply explain your concern. For example, "I'm finding it a little difficult to manage with the location of this cabin due to mobility." Most guest services staff will try their best to help because they know seniors aren't usually exaggerating. Think of it this way. Guest services deals with pushy passengers all day long, but a senior traveler who is polite and reasonable often stands out. They'll want to help you because you're being genuine. Number 6. Specialty dining loopholes. Specialty restaurants are one of the big moneymakers for cruise lines. A steakhouse, Italian trattoria, or seafood venue often comes with a $30 to $50 charge per person. But for seniors, there are hidden ways to enjoy these without paying extra. Here are some common situations where fees may be waived. Medical or dietary needs. If you need a low-sodium diet, diabetic-friendly meals, or softer foods due to dental concerns, some cruise lines will accommodate you in specialty venues at no cost. Medication schedules. If your medication timing doesn't match main dining hours, you can often have specialty dining fees waived to ensure you're eating at the right time. Milestone celebrations, seniors celebrating anniversaries, especially 25th, 40th, or 50th, or even retirement often receive complimentary specialty dining, but only if you mention it. Here's an insider tip. If you're celebrating something important, like your first cruise after recovering from illness or marking decades of marriage, tell guest services. Many cruise lines have unpublished policies that allow them to treat senior travelers to a complimentary specialty dinner. The worst they can say is no, but often they'll say yes, because creating memorable experiences for seniors builds loyalty. Number 7. Future cruise discounts. Finally, let's talk about the perk cruise lines guard most closely. Future cruise discounts for seniors. You don't need elite loyalty status or to spend thousands on board to qualify. If you're 65 or older, you may be entitled to discounts that most passengers never hear about. These can include loyalty acceleration. Seniors are often fast-tracked to higher loyalty tiers, which unlocks bigger discounts and perks. Medical consideration discounts. If you needed any accommodations on your current cruise, you might receive a discount offer to encourage you to book again. Referral bonuses. Seniors who bring along other senior friends often get double or triple referral credits compared to standard programs. Repositioning cruise access. These are cruises where ships change regions, like moving from the Caribbean to Europe. They're already cheaper, but seniors sometimes get priority booking before the general public. The way to ask is simple. As a senior traveler, I'd like to know what future cruise discounts are available based on my current sailing. That one question can open the door to savings of 20, 25, even 30% on your next trip. How to claim these perks? Step-by-step plan. Here's your easy checklist for making sure you don't miss out. 1. At booking, ask about mobility assistance and preferred dining times. 2 weeks before sailing, call the cruise line directly and confirm your senior accommodations. 3. On embarkation day, mention your age and requests again at check-in. 4th, first day on board, visit guest services and ask about upgrades, dining, or specialty perks. 5. Before disembarkation, inquire about senior discounts for future cruises. One important note, don't try to claim perks you don't need, but don't feel guilty about asking for the ones that make your cruise safer, easier, or more enjoyable. These benefits exist for a reason. Conclusion. So, which of these senior perks surprised you the most? Have you ever asked for one and been successful? Or maybe been told no? Share your story in the comments below, because your experience could really help other travelers know what to expect. If this video opened your eyes to benefits you didn't know existed, please give it a thumbs up so more seniors can discover these insider secrets. And don't forget to subscribe to Cruise Aura for more simple, easy-to-follow cruise tips. Cruising should be about relaxation, fun, and making great memories. And now that you know these 7 perks, you can enjoy smoother sailing every time you travel. Until next time, happy cruising, and I'll see you on board.